Hi everybody, welcome to our training video for PECS Phase 4, which is the phase that focuses on constructing sentences. Just to double check, if you're watching this video, your child should now be at the point where they will independently go to their PECS book, pick a picture from all available pictures, and exchange it with you to accurately request whatever they want. So if they're not there yet, go back and watch some of the previous phase videos, or reach out to your SLP to see what phase they're really on and what you should be focusing on. If they are doing that, let's get into phase 4. So for this phase, we focus on teaching students to combine picture symbols, so put those picture symbols together to make a more advanced request. By the end of this phase, the student should be constructing and exchanging a sentence strip with 2 picture symbols on it to make a request. So instead of just handing you a picture that says ball, they're now going to hand you a sentence strip that has 2 pictures on it and point to the symbols in order to communicate, I want ball. So we're really building up their language capacity. So depending on where your child is within the phase, we're going to set up the communication book in different ways. We're going to go over that in the following slides, so don't worry about that just yet. But just in general, we're going to continue using those physical or gestural prompts. We're not going to use verbal prompts again in this phase to cue your child to complete the following sequence. One thing I do want to touch on is that we really want to try to fade out our prompts as quickly as we can while we're still making sure that they're successful. So what that means is that if your child can be cued to put a picture symbol somewhere by just pointing to that place, we're going to try to do that because it's less of a prompt than physically picking up their hand and doing hand-over-hand prompts and making them put it there. So in general, in order to teach phase 4, we're going to help your child put the picture symbols that are needed on the sentence strip at the bottom of the book. We're going to help them remove the sentence strip and then hand it to you or whoever the communication partner is. Then once you're holding it, you're going to help them point if they need help. Eventually they will do this independently, but you're going to have them point to each picture symbol from left to right because that's the way we read. And we are, as the communication partner, are going to read it out loud for them. So if they hand you a sentence strip that says, I want ball, when they point to the I want picture, you say I want. When they point to ball, you say ball, and then you immediately give them the ball. So now to talk about how you set up the book based on where they are within the phase. So at first, we're going to start with the I want picture symbol attached to the left side of that sentence strip. So that picture is already there. They don't have to move that one yet. Then we're going to have the picture of whatever they want alone on the cover. So again, we're kind of backing this up. And we're not making them discriminate right now because what we're focused on is getting them to build that sentence strip and remove it. So because that's a new skill, we're going to kind of lower our expectations in all the other areas. So most likely in this phase, they'll try to hand you that single picture because that's what they've been doing. So you're going to, at first, physically take their hand, put it on the sentence strip, help them remove it, and help them hand it to you, and help them point to the words as you say it. Once they're independently moving that single picture symbol down to the strip and handing you the strip, you're going to start putting the I want picture symbol on the top of the book, on the cover of the book as well. So in this second step, of this progression, now you're going to have the I want picture symbol and the picture of whatever they want on the front of the book. So you're going to have 2 pictures on the front of the book now. Then once they've mastered moving that I want picture down and the picture of whatever they want down and exchanging it, then we're going to move on to that third step. So we're going to start again with the I want picture symbol on the cover of the book, and then we're going to add a few pictures of reinforcers or of things that they might want to the cover of the book. And so now we're working on them making that sentence strip, but we're also working on them discriminating between picture symbols again. Then finally, we're going to start with all of the picture symbols inside the book. The I want picture symbol should always be on the inside cover of the book. So when you open it, it should be right there. And we try to keep that clear of other picture symbols. It should really be for I want and eventually help or more, I see, those kinds of sentence starters, because those are what are most frequently used. So it helps that they'll know where those pictures are and they don't have to go search for that one as well. So now we're going to watch a video explaining the phase and showing you a few examples. All right, so for phase 4 of PECS, when we first start teaching it, we're going to start with the I want picture on the left side of the sentence strip, and then the picture of whatever they're requesting on the front. So it's just those two pictures. And you're going to silently entice them again, and your child's going to go to give you the picture symbol because that's what they're used to. You prompt their hand down to the strip, prompt them to remove it, hand it to you, and then make their finger into a point. You're going to say, I want light up toy, and whatever it is, and then give it to them immediately. And then you put it back, you put the strip back on the book, and reset it. So then once they're getting really good at that, say, I want light up toy. You give it to them. Once they're doing that consistently, we're going to move both pictures up to the cover of the book and have them move down both pictures. So they might do it right away and then you could give them the toy, or they might just put the single picture down of the object, which is what they've been doing, and try to remove the strip to give it to you. And you would prompt them to also put the I want on there. And then they know now to remove it and give it to you and point. I want light up toy. So once they're consistently moving both pictures down onto the sentence strip, like this, I want light up toy. So once your child is consistently putting both pictures down on the strip and exchanging it, you're going to add some more pictures to the cover. So now they're constructing the sentence strip and they're discriminating. So just make sure you have all those options available in case they do want, let's say, the ball more than the light up toy. Once they're able to make the sentence strip from there consistently, we're going to move it inside the book. So now the I want is going to go on the inside cover, and you're going to still have all your options down here. And now when your child sees the toy and wants it, they have to discriminate between all the pictures, make the sentence strip, and exchange it. I want light up toy. Once they're consistently doing that, we're going to add in a pause when they're pointing to it and we're reading it back to them. So they're going to construct the sentence strip and exchange it with you. And you're going to say, I want, and then pause when they touch the second picture, light up toy, and give it to them. And what that's doing is giving them a chance to say it themselves. So it would sound like, I want light up toy. And then eventually that pause is just giving them time to start speaking and start saying it themselves. So I just really want to make sure to touch on something that we mentioned in that video, which is how we encourage speech during this phase. However, I do want to point out that we're never going to force them to speak. So this still needs to be a functional way for them to communicate. So we're still going to accept the request. We're just going to try to encourage that speech. The way that we do this is that after your child is consistently and independently making the whole sentence strip and exchanging it to you, we're going to start building in a pause while they point to the pictures and you read them back. So you're going to say, I want, when they point to that picture, and then you're going to pause when they point to the second picture. We're not pausing for long, pause for about 3 to 5 seconds. And then all that's doing is just giving them some time to hop in there and say the word themselves. The reason this works with some children is that they know that once that word is said, then they get the item. So they want to get that item quicker, so they say the word. Like I said before, we really want to encourage that speech, but we're not going to insist on it. We're not going to say ball or you don't get the ball. We want to make sure that they still have a functional way to communicate. So they still have a way to express what they want and what they need independently. I encourage that you start with pausing for 3 to 5 seconds. But if you want to try to pause for maybe 8 seconds and see if your child will say it that way, if your child can tolerate that, you can try that as well after a while and see if they maybe need that extra wait time. If your child does say the word, we're going to give them lots and lots and lots of reinforcement. And we say we're going to throw them a party. So you get really excited, especially if your child likes that social praise. And you're going to give them a lot of reinforcement. What that means is you're going to give them a lot of whatever they asked for. So if they asked for chips, let's say, and you've been giving them a chip every time or part of a chip every time, you are going to give them a handful of chips now. So they said it, so they're going to get a lot of whatever they asked for. And like we said, throw a party. So some children don't like loud noise. If your child is one of those children, then obviously don't do this. But if they say the word and they do like when you get really excited, you're going to get really, really excited, say, yeah, chips, or whatever they're asking for, and give them a lot of that. You can also tickle them in addition if they like being tickled, or squeeze them, or do anything else that they like to really show them that that was really great. That's what we really want. And that's how we're going to really encourage them to keep doing it in the future. So that's the end of our training for phase 4 of PECS. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.